Well, good afternoon, good morning, good evening, wherever you are in the world. This is Geaux Stros, and I'm coming to you live once again from a city called Kagoshima in southwest Japan. Cheers to you all. I'm having a little black coffee right now. I'm about to have my second cup. I got up a little early this morning. Got a couple of minor updates, probably not so important to any of you, but I just wanted to share. I thought it'd be a little interesting. I've got one of my new Astros shirts. This is a vintage Astros shirt. Astros, very, very comfortable shirt. I love this material. It's very, very comfortable. I would not play baseball in this shirt, but it is so comfortable just to wear around the house. It's just, and it's very big on me. But it does have Biggio's name on the back, Craig Biggio. It's got the one of the old Astros logos. I like it very much. This is not my Space City, not my Space City shirt that I ordered, which is waiting for me back at my house in Hiroshima. But would you believe, just just by accident, a few days ago, I was with my girl, and she and I were going to a film, going to see a movie at the cinema. And on the way over there, we came across this vintage shop. Actually, this is it right here. It's called Grapefruit Moon. This is the bag that I got when I stopped by there. And Grapefruit Moon is a vintage clothing shop. On the first floor, it's mostly just men's clothes. And on the second floor is all women's clothes. And everything they have in the shop is either pure vintage or vintage style. It's very cool. A lot of retro stuff in there. You really have to just wade through all of their shirts and everything to really find what you're looking for. But whenever we were walking by, I didn't even notice it. She pointed it out. She happened to see that outside the front of the store they had this big rack of shirts, and they all were sports shirts, like American football shirts, baseball shirts, jerseys, and things like that. And she noticed it. I didn't. I was just off in another world, I guess. And she said, "Hey, maybe you can find a shirt over there with one of your teams." And I said, "Oh, that's cool. Yeah, we'll have to check that out later." After the movie, we didn't have time to look, so I was a little disappointed. But yesterday, I had a lot of free time. So I went over there during the day and I did a little shopping around. I spent about an hour in that store just browsing around, going through all their shirts and stuff. And lo and behold, wouldn't you know it, I found an Astros shirt, a Craig Biggio shirt. So happy to get this, and the price was not expensive. I also got an LSU shirt, and the materials of these shirts are just so nice. I slept in this shirt last night because it's just so soft and comfortable. So this is the first LSU shirt I've been able to get in a long time. First Astros shirt I've been able to get in a long time. But today I'm wearing the Craig Biggio Astros vintage shirt, and just wanted to share that with you guys. I thought you might be interested in hearing it. So that was the main news. So I've now got my Astros hat, my Astros shirt. Whenever I get back to Hiroshima, I'll have another Astros jersey waiting on me. It should be the Jose Altuve Space City Connect uniform, and looking forward to getting that. I'm really looking forward to that one. That one's going to be my main shirt. Maybe whenever Altuve does not play, I will wear this one or a different shirt. But whenever Altuve is in the game, maybe I will wear his shirt. Right now, we've got a game coming up in just a few minutes. I started the live stream a little early today, guys. Let's see here. Let me open the game stat page so I can tell you exactly when it's supposed to start. I think it's my time. It's about 5 minutes from now, maybe. No, 10 minutes from now. Okay, so we're 10 minutes before start time. I got started a little early, but better early than late. I just wanted to make sure everything was set up. I got up early this morning, and not only did I get up a little early, But I went into the kitchen while my girl was still sleeping and made a little omelet, some fried bananas, some strawberry and butter toast, and a few fresh strawberries. And I gave her a glass of cold milk, which she likes, and I made myself some coffee, which I'm about to finish off right now and go get another cup. I got all that done, and after she ate, she got dressed, put on her makeup, and headed out to business school just moments ago. And as soon as she left, I got the stream going. Just wanted to get everything running, make sure all was looking good, and it seems to be going well. Ryan Gusto is going to be on the mound for the Astros today. He is facing Bowden Francis. Bowden Francis is a guy I really don't know anything about, but I can give you a little bit of info about him. Right now, he is 0-2 for the season with a 4.09 ERA. And actually, his 4.09 ERA, that's just the away games. I don't know. Maybe he's played all of his games away. Let's see. Okay, so far this year, he's played 4 games. And his innings pitched are 23. 20 Ks in 23 innings. 8 walks in 23 innings. That's not good. So if you think about this, in 23 innings, he's given up 16 hits, 10 runs, 5 home runs, 8 walks. Wow, that's pretty crazy. I think this guy is quite hittable. He might have a banner day. You never know. You know, like yesterday, I said, whenever the Blue Jays had Chris Bassett on the mound, I took a look at his numbers, and everybody was talking about how good he was and how good he was doing. And I said, hey, listen, this is the prime time for something to happen to him, just like what happened to Blanco. They start off good, but then they just get blown up. You know, they are a pitcher that has proven themselves. They become solid. They become dependable. They become a workhorse. And then as soon as you think that they're going to have it locked down, they come out and they get blown up, just like Blanco did his previous, not yesterday's outing, but the outing before that. So what I expected to happen yesterday was, and if you go back and you watch my video, the beginning of my live video yesterday, you'll see that I said these two things. One was I expected Blanco to have a good game, and he did. He had a phenomenal game. The other thing was I expected the Astros to blow Bassett up and blow him up early, and they did in the first inning. They got 3 runs right off the bat, and that set the tone for the rest of the game. And today we have kind of a different situation with Bowden Francis. Or Bowden, however you say his name, I'm not sure, but he has been giving up a substantial amount of runs. And his wins look pretty good. In both of his wins, he went 6 innings, gave up 1 run, and then 2 runs and another one, 5 hits and then 2 hits. But in his losses, he went 5 and 1/3, 5 and 2/3, gave up a total of 9 hits, 7 runs, and a couple of home runs, including 4 walks. So in his losses, he was pretty bad. So he seems to be pretty hit or miss. But I believe the Astros are going to be able to hit him and take this sweep today. They're going to sweep this series. I just feel good about it. I'm looking forward to Gusto being on the mound again today. Really looking forward to him having a great outing. Excited about that. But for right now, what I've got immediately in front of me is go in there and grab myself some more hot water and make a second cup of hot coffee. I want a fresh cup of hot coffee before this game starts, and I've got my cranberry and nut cookie right here I've been snacking on. Mmm. Very good. Have you guys ever had fried bananas? The way I make them is very, very simple. Take the banana, cut it up, maybe about half-inch thick pieces. I put some butter in the saucepan, and I heat it up to about maybe medium, just below medium heat. And then I grill both sides. Whenever you eat it, I kid you not, it tastes like banana pudding. It's just so good. I made those for my girl this morning. Her first time. She's from Vietnam. It was her first time to have them. I felt very happy because everything that she ate, I only made 4 things. The strawberries I didn't have to make. Just put them on the plate. But I picked them up. They were 100% fresh yesterday. They had just picked them and put them out at the market. As soon as they put them out, I grabbed some. They are so fresh and red, so delicious. So the strawberries, the fried bananas, the strawberry toast that I made, and the little omelet that I made. I have a particular way of making my omelets. I mix them up really well, add a little bit of milk, add some seasoning, mix them up. They come out really nice and fluffy. Everything that she ate, she was like, "Oh, oishi, oishi." That just means delicious in Japanese. And if you're wondering why we're using Japanese, it's because we're in Japan. But everything she thought was delicious, and it was her first time having the fried banana, so I thought that was fun. Alexa says, "Hello, let's go Astros." Absolutely, let's go Stros. The game is going to start in just a few minutes, so that gives me just enough time to go in here and get my hot water and pour another cup of coffee. We'll be right back in just a moment. Let me put my headset down, and first pitch coming up in just a couple of minutes. For those interested, this is how I'm making my coffee recently. It's very easy. Just use the single serve pour over bag. But this particular one that I got the other day, it has to be the weakest coffee I've ever had in my life. I didn't actually read the bag closely. It has some English on it, but most of it is written in Japanese, and of course I can read hiragana and katakana. Those are the 2 simplest Japanese word forms, and then a little bit of kanji. So I was able to read that this is blend coffee, which is what I wanted. I just wanted the regular blend coffee. And I was like, oh, okay, that's good enough. And I grabbed that one. It was also the cheapest. But now I realize why it was the cheapest. It's not because it's bad. I mean, you might say it is bad because it's weak, but it's supposed to be weak. That's why it's cheaper. The amount of coffee in his tea bag, the amount of coffee in this bag is not as much, so that it gives you a very weak cup of coffee. It was designed that way. And I didn't pay attention to that part. I just saw blend coffee, and I saw the price was cheap, and I said, okay, good enough for me, and I grabbed it. But I learned my lesson. I don't like the really strong coffee, but I don't like the really weak stuff either. I'm a happy middle kind of guy. I was even born as the middle child. I'm going to add a little bit of milk to this one. Make it a little cooler. There we go. Now I can put this bag in this cup. We're about to have the first pitch, guys. Gusto has finished warming up. Looks like DeCinzo's in the outfield today. Bo Bichette is in the box rather. Here comes the first pitch of the game. It's a line straight to Jeremy Pena, who knocks it down. He fires the first. A one hopper to Christian Walker. Did they get him? Yes, they did. Holy cow. Line drive, hopper right in front of Pena. He knocks it down with his glove on the backhand, snatches it up, fires to first. Christian Walker with the scoop. Bo Bichette, one pitch, one out. Pena picking up where he left off yesterday. If you guys saw any of the highlights from yesterday, Pena was he was Mr. Gold Glove yesterday. That brings up Vladimir Guerrero Jr. up and in, strike one. Oh man, that is good. I doctored that up really well today. I have to say, I'm pleased with myself. I'm going to pat myself on the back. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. Woo, that missed just barely. A little high fastball. Could have been called for strike two, but as it stands, 1-1. It's a beautiful day here. The skies are completely perfectly blue. I don't see a cloud out there. 1-1 against Guerrero Jr. Here comes the pitch. Low and away in the dirt. Breaking ball, 82 miles an hour. Two balls, one strike, one out, no runners on here in the top of the first. Here comes the pitch from Gusto. Ground ball to third. Paredes scoops it up. Fires over to first, no problem. Out number two. Two ground balls. One line drive ground ball, one hopper to Pena. And this bouncer to Paredes. 5 pitches for Gusto. It'd be nice to get the third out right here on one pitch. And get through the first inning with just 6 pitches. That'd be awesome. I'd love to see a complete game. Chances of that are so low for anybody, but if he did it, it would be amazing for him and the Astros. Here's the 0-0 pitch to Anthony Santander. He fouls it back. Santander not having a banner season so far, batting 196. 150 on the road. Gusto shakes off a couple of calls. Now here comes the pitch. Swing and a miss. Good pitch right on the outside edge. 95 mile per hour fastball. 0-2. Diaz behind the plate today. Caratini on the bench. Looks like Altuve is going to be in left field today. He is. McCormick's in center. Dubon is at second. DeCinzo is in right. That ball's low and outside. Ball 1. Off-speed pitch. I don't quite understand. Why have Dubon at second base and Altuve in left field? Why not swap them? I'd rather have Altuve at second base if you're going to have Dubon in the game. That's just my feeling. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Up and out. Santander couldn't handle it. 3 up and 3 down. An 8-pitch inning. for Ryan Gusto. That's what I like to see right there, man. Can you imagine him having an 8-pitch inning every inning? I wouldn't mind that at all. We go into the bottom of the first. No hits, no errors, no runs. Astros due up to bat in just a moment. Starting off with my hero, Jose Altuve. Altuve's batting average slipped just below 300. Right now he's batting .298, but he still leads the team. Myers was giving him a run for the money, but Myers, yesterday and the day before, he has just suddenly struggled the past 2 games. They moved him up to the 5th slot 2 days ago in Game 1 versus the Blue Jays. And then he went 0 for whatever. Yesterday they moved him down again to 8, and he went maybe 0 for 4 in that game. So he's struggled a bit the past couple of games, and his batting average has dropped as a result. Alvarez is batting second as DH. He's not in the field today. Paredes is at third, of course. Pena batting fourth at shortstop. Walker is back in the game today, batting fifth. Yainer Diaz batting sixth for some reason. DeCenzo batting seventh. He had a really great game in Game 1. Just really handling up in that game. Had a couple of doubles, RBIs, runs scored. Great base running. Hurt his thumb a little bit. Took the day off yesterday. He's back in today. Glad to see him back. Dubon is batting 8th, playing second, and McCormick in center field, giving Myers a break at 9th. Bowden Francis is on the mound. He's facing Altuve. First pitch on the way in just a second. Here it comes. That's hit hard. Line drive. Oh, just foul. Holy cow, that one went way out there. That was ripped by Altuve. A line drive shot all the way out into the left field crowd. Not too far from that wall in the Crawford boxes. Curveball in there for a strike. 0-2. This looks like a good matchup for Altuve, this pitcher. He's throwing stuff that Altuve can crush. Batting .305 against right-handed pitchers. Here's the pitch now. He grounds that one through on the left side. It gets through. The shortstop dives for it but can't handle it. It skitters into left field, and Altuve's on with the leadoff hit. Heck yes, it's the same thing yesterday. Altuve started the game off by getting on. The Astros had a 3-run first inning. He's the one that started it. And today, once again, he's the one who started this. Yordan Alvarez comes to the plate with Altuve on first. Here's the pitch. Let's smack that ball, Alvarez. He goes after the first one. 92 mile per hour right in the zone, but fouled back. 0-1 is the count. Alvarez batting .213. He needs to shake off the rest of that rust he's got on him right now. Here comes the 0-1 pitch from Bowden. Woo, inside corner, 92 mile per hour pitch. That was a nice one. Just like Altuve, he's down 0-2. But just like Altuve, I know that Alvarez can hit this guy. 0-2 pitch is on the way. High, ball 1. First ball thrown by Bowden. One ball, 2 strikes, no outs. Altuve on first. Here's the pitch. Alvarez hits that one to right field. It's going to get through, and Altuve is going to run around second. Is he going to get to third? No, he's going to go back. He's going to have to stay at second because that ball was smoked to right field. Nice single right through the gap. Just lasered right through there by Alvarez. Low in the zone. He went down and got it. Put it right between Altuve and the second baseman. The second baseman jumped up for it, but it was a couple of feet above his glove. Those really weren't bad pitches. They had movement. They went down, but both hitters went after him. I'm telling you, I just knew that Alvarez and Altuve could hit this guy. That brings up Isaac Paredes, and he hits it to the left side. It could be a double play. They go to second, they go to first, and they get him. Very first pitch. On the very first pitch, Paredes grounds into a double play. But Altuve goes to third. That's the only good thing about this. 2 hits for the Astros this inning, and that brings up Jeremy Pena. Pena was really hot yesterday, not only on the... I mean, he was showing such amazing skill on defense. He takes that first curveball in there for a strike. He just looked like he wasn't even going to swing at that one. All we need right here is a single to score Altuve. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. Pena swings at that one low in the zone, just below the zone actually, but missed. Just take your time, Pena. This guy is not he's not as strong as what we faced before, so I feel confident all the Astros can hit this guy. Pena calls timeout. He's going to adjust his gloves. Take a moment to gather himself. We need a sweep. Absolutely we need a sweep. And this is the perfect opportunity to do it. Here comes the pitch. Just outside, ball 1. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Altuve hanging out on third, just waiting for the opportunity to come home. Jeremy Pena at the plate, trying to drive Altuve in. Here's the pitch. Strike 3. Got him looking. So Pena takes 2 strikes. The very first pitch, right down the gut, takes it for a strike. And for the third strike, takes it right down the gut. Not a good bat for Jeremy Pena. Strands Altuve on third base. Man, ruined that opportunity. Altuve and Jordan scorch the ball and get runners on first and second with no outs. They start this off really well, but Paredes grounds into a double play, and then Pena strikes out looking. Totally destroyed that opportunity in the first inning. The Astros have 2 hits, no runs. We go into the top of the second. Gusto will be back up on the mound for his 9th pitch of the game. Thank you guys for being here, guys and gals, wherever you are in the world. It seems that my I don't want to call it a vacation because it's not really a vacation, but where I'm at right now in Kagoshima, Japan, I'm at a friend's apartment. Well, I say a friend, but I don't know. I really don't know what to call our relationship right now, because it's like she's my girlfriend, but we have some things that she's really worried about. So it's kind of a push-pull relationship at the moment, where she recognizes all of the wonderful things about me. She doesn't say it that way, but that's basically what it is. She really admires a lot of things about me, and she's drawn to me because of the way I treat her and the kind of person I am. So she really loves me. She cares a lot about me. She really, really does care a lot about me. But at the same time, there are some challenges. So on one hand, there are a lot of these great things that are winning her heart over, and her emotions. But her emotions are also affected by these doubts and fears and things like that. For example, the main thing is my health. I'm still fighting a tumor, a kidney tumor. And, when you're dating somebody in a situation like that, that's something you got to think about. 0-1 to George Springer. Gusto gets the first pitch, a strike. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. This one's hit foul to the right side, off into the crowd, 0-2. 0-2 to George Springer. Here's the pitch from Gusto. Hits that one straight up. Is it going to be playable? Looks like it's going to be. Yiner Diaz is underneath it in foul territory. Puts it away. Out number 1. George Springer goes down on 3 pitches. Strike, strike, foul out. That's what I like to see. That's the thing that I hated doing more than anything when I played baseball. Thankfully, I didn't do it very often. That's fouling out. They're asking, what is the most surprising thing, the most surprising defense this year, the most positive surprise this year? Here comes the pitch to the next batter, Andres Gimenez. It's a little outside for ball 1. For some reason, it seems that the live stream is not so good. It's a poor quality live stream. Why is that? Or the game stream, that is. Next pitch to Jimenez is low for ball 2. I think I'm a little behind. Let me try to click the live button and see where we're at. 2 balls and 1 strike. He fouls that one back. Now we're caught up. The connection doesn't seem to be so great today. I don't know if it's because of where my phone is positioned. I'm using my phone as a Wi-Fi hotspot. It's much better than this apartment Wi-Fi, believe it or not. 2 balls and 1 strike to Jimenez. Here comes the pitch from Gusto. Fouled off again. That evens the count, 2-2. 1 out, no runners on. Anything going on in the chat? Let's go, Stros. Caesar, welcome back. Good to see you. Alexis Croker Caesar. Good day, good afternoon, or good evening to you all. Here's the next pitch from Gusto. 2-2, but that's up and outside for ball 3. The first full count for Gusto today. He's up to 16 pitches now. Here comes the full count lob. Fouled off again. 94 mile per hour fastball, up and out. Little protective swing by Jimenez. I really do miss playing baseball. I want to go to the batting cages. Maybe I'll go there today if I have time. Here's the 3-2 pitch. This one's hit right past Jeremy Pena. Pena makes a lunge for it, but it's just a little too high. And it's going to be the first hit for the Blue Jays today. And they have a base runner on first. Opposite field hit by Jimenez. Not too much action on that pitch. Right in the middle of the zone, a little outside, and he put the fat part of the bat on it. Just a nice, clean swing. Runner on first, 1 out. Gusto facing Alejandro Kirk. Here's the pitch. Strike 1, right on the inside corner. Good pitch. Fastball cruising right in there. Kirk has driven the ball pretty hard a couple of times, but he hasn't gotten a hit in more than 10 at-bats, so Astros have kind of shut him down. That next pitch is right in there. Another fast pitch, a sinker, literally in the center of the plate. 0-2 just like that. Gusto can work his bag o' tricks here, come up with something. What kind of magic spell is he going to cast on Kirk? Let's see. Here it comes. It's a sweeper, which he hits into the air. Chas McCormick calls off. Who's out there? That's not Cam Smith. Is that DeCenzo? Yeah, I think that's DeCenzo. McCormick, the center fielder, calls off DeCenzo. Two outs. Runner on first. Next batter is Addison Barger. He swings at that one and misses. Foul tip caught by Diaz. El Strico. 0-1. Barger hasn't had many at-bats, apparently. Either that or he's doing terribly because he's batting .067. .067. Gusto fires over to first base. Jimenez is back. Jimenez number 0. Number 0. He's a big 0. I don't think I'd ever be able to wear the number 0. Just a big 0. Here's a 0-1 pitch in the dirt. Change up. 1-1. Chas McCormick. I like his outfit. He's got the orange sleeve on the left and the navy blue sleeve on the right. Pretty cool. He just turned 30 years old last weekend. Runner's going. Diner throws to second. They get the throw there. It looks like Diaz is going to have yet another base stolen on him. Let's take a look at the replay here. He should have had him, I feel. Was it there in time? It was just too high. The throw was just too high. Yeah, Pena did the best he could, but the throw was just too high. Yainer Diaz, I don't think he's thrown anybody out this year. That's like 25 or 26 steals on the Astros. People are stealing bases at will right now. 3-1. 3 balls and 1 strike to Addison Berger. Here's the pitch. That's hit hard to right field, straight at DeCenzo, who gets that line drive out, and that's the 3rd away. So after a little bit of trouble, Gusto finally gets out of it. Now he's up to 26 pitches. That's not bad. 13 pitches on average per inning now. He only had about 8 or 9 pitches. I think he had 8 in the first inning. He had quite a bit more, substantially a bit more. 18 pitches in the second inning. But overall, not bad. We go into the bottom of the second inning. 0-0. Astros with 2 hits, Blue Jays with 1. Christian Walker is due up, followed by Yainer Diaz and Zach DeCenzo. Wherever you are, I appreciate you tuning in to me and listening to my broadcast. I finished Japanese language school last month. It feels like so long ago. I finished around the 3rd week of March. I applied for my new visa. I didn't realize at the time, but there were some things about my visa that I didn't know. One of those that I did know was that the visa didn't allow me to work. It was not a work visa. It didn't grant me permission to work in Japan. And you might ask, or might be wondering, why would you apply for a visa that does not allow you to work? Well, because a couple of reasons. First of all, I've built my life here. I have a house, I have a car. This is where I plan to keep my home base and live my life. So I have no intention to just leave. But because of my health, I don't have the ability to just go get another full-time job. And that's the other thing. My main working history in Japan is teaching English. And the thing about that is you barely just make enough money to get by. Christian Walker swings at the first pitch, 93-mile-per-hour fastball, fouls it off. Strike 1. But anyway, they took my health insurance away, and I didn't know that they were going to do that. That's the thing I didn't know. Here's the next pitch to Walker. Walker hits it out to left field, all the way out to the Crawford boxes. It might be gone. It is. It's gone. It's gone. The second pitch, Walker goes about 5 rows deep into the Crawford boxes, and the Astros are up 1-0. Good job, Christian Walker. Man, how do you like that? 3rd hit of the game for the Astros. Big hit for Walker. Love to see him back. Christian Walker was just having such a hard time, and he got a little rest. He got a little time off, and since he's come back, he's looked much better. I wouldn't say stellar, but man, right there he looks stellar. How do you like that? 1-0 Astros. Yainer Diaz at the plate now takes the first pitch up in the zone for strike one. 91 mile per hour fastball. Good job there, Mr. Walker. Keep that up. Here's a 0-1 pitch in the dirt and outside on that splitter. 1-1 to Yainer Diaz. Let me check and make sure that the score is updated properly on my screen. Yes, it is. Here's the 1-1 inside, too far inside. 82 mile per hour splitter. Diaz only batting 155 right now, looking to get his stuff going. Here comes the pitch. Hit hard to right field. It's pretty deep all the way out to the wall. Sliding catch. No, he doesn't make the catch. The ball bounces off. Yainer's hustling around second. He might go for three. Yainer, he does. He has himself a triple. Standing up. Opposite field hit all the way out to the wall. The right fielder booked his butt off to get over there. He slid to try to make the catch and just couldn't come up with it. Man, what a hit by Yainer Diaz. I thought it was going to be gone. And it was just off the... Oh, it hit the foot of the right fielder as he was sliding for it. Just a couple of feet short of the wall in right field. If that had been to left field, it would have been caught for sure. But they were playing Yainer off the line. So we have Zach DeCenzo at the plate now, with Yainer on third and no outs. Here comes the pitch. Low and outside. A curveball missing wide. Ball one. DeCenzo, in his game a couple of days ago, he looked like he really wanted to be in this lineup, and he was making the most of every opportunity. 2 for 3 in that game. A couple of doubles and an RBI. Next pitch is low and outside, but it catches the corner. A four-seam fastball, 92 miles an hour, and that evens the count 1-1. All right, this could be the inning, guys. Let's move Yainer home. Here's the pitch. This is hit hard to right field. Is it going to be in play? Looks like it's going to go out in the crowd. Pretty well hit by DeCenzo, but it's a good thing it went in the crowd. Otherwise, it would have been easily playable for the right fielder. 1 ball and 2 strikes. DeCenzo takes a moment to gather himself. Now he strolls back into the box. One and 2 pitch from Bowden is on the way. Low and inside, good take by DeCenzo, and that evens the count 2-2. Hitting is contagious. Yeah, it seems to be. The Astros with 4 hits now, 2 in the first and now 2 in the second. One of those has turned into a run, Christian Walker homer. But with Diaz on third, we have another opportunity here. Here's the pitch. DeCenzo gets the line drive, single to right field. That's going to score Yainer easily. He can jog home. DeCenzo on first base, 2-0 Astros. DeCenzo getting the job done. How do you like that? 5 hits for the Astros now, and they're up 2-0. Adding to that bid. Adding to that bid for the sweep. That one was just a little inside. He fought it off and went opposite field. Just really good, perfect hit by DeCenzo. Heck yes. The Astros commentators saying that right now the Astros offense is looking like it is where Espada envisioned it to be at the beginning of the season. I hope so. If this is what he thought it would be like, and it's starting to be that, then he's a guru. Mauricio Dubon comes to the plate. Dubon is another player that really could benefit by getting things going. Batting just 179 so far this season. Here comes the first pitch to him. Fouls that one off. 92 mile per hour fastball. Up and in. No outs, guys. DeCenzo on first base. 0-1 to Dubon. Here comes the next pitch from Francis. Fouled off again. Is that going to be playable? They rush over, and it's just over the Astros dugout, so that'll be strike 2. "24 pitches now for Francis, without a single out so far. 0-2 is the count against Dubon. Francis comes set. Here's the delivery. Oh, Dubon gets himself a single to center field. DeCenzo's going to get the second. Have to stop there. Holy cow. Hit number 6 for the Astros so far this game for this inning. Christian Walker's home run was off of a curveball. Perfectly hit. Just golfed it into the Crawford boxes. Now we have singles, singles, singles galore. No outs, runners on first and second for Chas McCormick. And now Chas, the Chasmanian Devil, is he awake? With the orange and navy blue arm sleeves. Looking all stylish. He shows bunt. He gets it down to the pitcher. The pitcher goes to third. Is he safe? They say he's safe. DeCenzo was going. Apparently they had a hit and run bunt going on. How do you like that? Chas McCormick lays down the surprise bunt. DeCenzo and Dubon were off to the races. The pitcher went to third. He had to backhand it and go to third, but he got there too late, and they said he was safe. DeCenzo, with his speed, just barely gets in there. A split second. Just a split second early. It could not have been closer. Holy cow, that was so close. Bases loaded for the Astros. And Jose Altuve is at the plate. My hero. Come on, man. No outs. No outs. Bases loaded. Here's a pitch to Altuve. Oh, little curveball. He takes a swing at it. Too early. Misses. Seven grand slams for Altuve in his career. Let's do number 8. This one's hit straight up by Altuve on the infield. Shortstop's going to come in and take it for out number 1. He took a couple of swipes at it. Man, I really hate that. I wanted Altuve to do something. I know we got Alvarez coming up with bases loaded, and that's all fine and dandy. But, man, I just really wanted Altuve to come through right there. He didn't need a huge hit, but, man, one of these days I want to see an Altuve grand slam. Speaking of grand slam, Alvarez is at the plate. He might get one. 30th pitch for Francis on the way. Hit hard to center field. It might be gone. It's going all the way back. No, it's to the warning track. He gets it. That will score a run, though. DeCenzo is tagging. All the runners are tagging. Everybody tags. Jordan flies out to center field. But that ball all the way out to the warning track in center field is enough for everybody to move around. So we have runners on second and third with 2 outs. Astros up 3-0. The Blue Jays already have another pitcher warming up in the bullpen. How do you like that? In the second inning, they're already warming up another pitcher. Man, Alvarez just maybe about 10 feet shy of a center field grand slam. If he'd pulled that ball early, he would have been all over it. Paredes comes to the plate on the very first pitch, or rather, he had one strike. I had a little problem with the game there. I missed the first pitch to Paredes. It was a strike. The second pitch, he grounds out. So that's going to be it for the Astros in the second inning, but not before they get 6 hits and 3 runs off of Bowden Francis. How do you like that? Okay, guys, we're going to go into the top of the third. Gusto will be back up on the mound for the Astros in just a moment. And I'm going to try to see if maybe I can put my phone up somewhere else, maybe outside. I've got the window open, but maybe if I put it up high somewhere, I can get a better signal. So give me just a moment, I'll be right back. We're on break right now. We'll be back in a minute with the top of the third. How do you like the Stros? Off to a good start to try to get this sweep, I'd say. Will Wagner comes to the plate. First pitch on the way from Gusto in just a moment. Here it comes. Strike right in there. 92 mile per hour fastball. Good pitch. Got about half a dozen people following my channel right now, following the stream. Thank you for being here. Make sure you like the live stream for me if you can. Second pitch, 94 mile per hour fastball in there again, but fouled away. Same result. It's a strike. 0-2. .30 pitches now for Gusto. Here comes the next one. That one's low. Here comes the pitch. Way up high and outside. That's probably the worst pitch I've seen from Gusto this whole time in the past 3 innings. 3 balls now and 2 strikes. I thought that was ball 2. Did I miss something here? Here comes the pitch. Swing and a miss. Gets the strikeout. It doesn't matter there. 94 mile per hour fastball up and away. Will Wagner could not get his bat on the ball. Will Wagner, the relative of a very famous baseball player that you just might know. Alan Rodin comes to the plate, batting .213 for the season, left-hander. Here comes a pitch from Gusto. This is grounded right up the middle. Chopper grabbed by Pena. He lobs it over to first, no problem. Good running play by Pena. 1 pitch, 1 out on that play. So we have 2 away. .33 pitches now for Gusto. If he can get out of this inning with a total of 36 pitches, that'll be pretty nice. 12 pitches average per inning. Here comes the first pitch to Bo Bichette. He hits this one really hard to center field. McCormick is back right on the warning track. He's under it, and he's got it for out number 3. There we go. How do you like that? Gusto, 3 up and 3 down. A strikeout, ground out, and a fly out. .34 pitches. Very nice. 34 pitches. So Gusto averaging less than 12 pitches per inning right now. very nice. If he keeps things going like this, he could go through 7 innings. That would be wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. We're going into the bottom of the third. The Astros up 3-0. 6 hits for the Stros already, and they've converted 3 of those into runs. 1 hit for the Blue Jays. No errors for either team. Checking in from Conroe. Hey Mel, it's good to see you again. Welcome back. How are things over there? How's the weather? How are things going? Here in Kagoshima, it is just beautiful weather. It's nice and cool this morning. Right now it is 9:20 a.m. The sky is completely blue, not a cloud out there. A nice cool breeze coming in. I've got all of the AC and everything turned off. Just a beautiful day today. It's a nice day for a sweep, I think. How's the weather in Conroe right now, I wonder? Has it gotten pretty hot and humid? People here in Japan often complain about the weather, and they behave as if Japan is the hottest, most humid place in the world, but they don't realize what it's like in certain places in Texas and Louisiana, in the Gulf states. They have no idea. Jeremy Pena comes to the plate, 0 for 1 today with a strikeout. First pitch is low and away for ball 1. That was a good take by Pena. Pena took a strike and then swung at a bad one. His last at bat. Here's the next pitch. He swings and misses that one. That one's below the zone. Speaking of swinging at a bad one. 1-1 is the count. No outs, nobody on. Pena, the leadoff batter. Here's the pitch. That one's also below the zone, but Pena fouls it off. One ball, 2 strikes to Jeremy Pena. I wonder if he had his tacos today. Every time I see the tacos commercials, it's always Jeremy Pena. Here comes the 1-2 pitch in the dirt. He doesn't go after that one, thankfully. 2-2. Okay, so Pena has a 13-game hitting streak right now. Only Bobby Witt Jr. is ahead of him. Here comes the next pitch. This one's hit out to right field. Pretty deep, but right before the warning track. Right fielder's able to get underneath it, no problem. And that'll be out number 1. Jeremy Pena probably will have 3 more chances. My guess, he'll have 3 more chances to get his hit today. Christian Walker comes up to the plate. His last at bat. Second pitch, curveball, boom, gone, solo home run. His average is up to almost 200. Ooh, 93 right in the center of the plate. Takes that one for strike 1. How about back-to-back jacks, Walker? Here comes the next pitch from Baldwin. A little too far inside underneath the arms of Walker. The count is even, 1-1. Here comes a 1-1 pitch. Another one inside. Almost in the same spot. Curveball. Misses. 2 balls and 1 strike. It looks like Francis wants a different ball, and he's got it. Yesterday, just for curiosity, I went and I looked at some of the live play-by-play streams that were available for this game, and there were several Blue Jays channels, but no Astros English channels, as usual. Just barely misses outside. 3 balls and 1 strike. That was a really good take by Walker. 93 mile per hour fastball, maybe 2 inches outside of the zone. 3-1. Here's the pitch. This one's hit hard. It's going to be another hit for Walker. Line drive single to left field. Heck yes. 2 for 2 today with a single and a home run for Walker. Is he going to go for the cycle today? He needs a double and the triple. That was right in the lower part of the zone, and Walker just reaches out there and gets it. Clinic hitting by Walker today. Solid hit over into the Crawford boxes. Solid single. That brings up Yainer Diaz with one runner on, one out. Yainer goes after the first pitch, a 93-mile-per-hour fastball on the outside. Fouls it off into the crowd down the first baseline. Astros with 8 hits now today. 8 hits already in the third inning. 8 hits. Crazy. Here comes the 0-1 to Diaz. Diaz pots that one straight up, and it's going to be playable by the first baseman. He grabs it. Walker's back to first, and that's out number 2. Zach DeCenzo comes up. Walker camped out on first base right now. Zach DeCenzo tripled his last at bat. And he had a couple of doubles the other day. You talking about somebody who's trying to get a permanent spot on the roster. Up and in on that curveball, ball 1. Right near the shoulder of DeCenzo. No, I'm sorry. He didn't have the triple. He had the single. It was Diaz who had the triple. I'm getting my players mixed up here. Low and outside for ball 2. 80-mile-per-hour splitter. DeCenzo's got a hitter's count going here. 2 balls and no strikes. Cam Smith on the bench today getting a little break. .47th pitch of the game coming for Francis right now. DeCenzo takes that one outside, and they throw down to first base, but Walker is back. 3 balls and no strikes. My connection seems much better now that I put my phone outside. I've got it out on the balcony. Seems a much better choice. 3 balls and no strikes. Here's the pitch to DeCenzo. He takes that one just inside, barely a strike, 91 miles an hour. That one clipped the edge, the inside edge, by less than an inch. DeCenzo with an opportunity to make some strong contact if it's anywhere near the zone. Here's the pitch. It is right in the zone, but he fouls it off. 93-mile-per-hour fastball. Off into the first base side crowd. Melwood says thunderstorms this morning, but all good now. Okay, that's good, Mel. How's the temperature right now? Is it hot and humid these days, or is it a little cool? I don't know what it's like over in Conroe these days. Here's the 3-2 pitch. Just inside. The umpire liked it, so DeCenzo goes down looking. That's going to be it for the Astros this inning, but they do get another hit from Christian Walker. 3-0 Astros. We go into the top of the 4th, guys. Houston Astros with 8 hits, no errors and 3 runs. No errors, 1 hit and no runs for the Blue Jays. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. will be up to bat in just a moment, followed by Anthony Santander and George Springer. Gusto, this is his 2nd time through the lineup. He's at just 23 pitches. I'm sorry, not 23, 35. 35 pitches through the first 3 innings. Having given up 1 hit, no runs so far. How many walks has he given? Let's see. None. No walks. 2 strikeouts. That's the kind of performance we like to see. If Gusto keeps pitching like this, he could very easily finish 7 innings. Absolutely he could. We will see. Croker says it's pretty heating for the summer bake here in Houston. Oh man, I don't doubt that at all. Where I'm at right now in Kagoshima, it's in... okay, I know you guys probably don't know the map and all of that stuff, but Okinawa, you already know that Okinawa is a small island that's kind of far from the mainland of Japan, right? And there's actually a kind of a boat, like a ferry that goes from here in this area to Okinawa. So I'm actually in the far southwest area of Japan. And in this area, it gets quite hot and humid during the summer. It's one of the hottest and most humid places in all of Japan. That being said, I will say this. It still doesn't compare to living in Houston or Louisiana. It doesn't. Or Mississippi or those Gulf states. It doesn't compare. Because we typically get the really high, not just the humidity, but the temperatures are much higher, actually. First pitch to Vladimir Guerrero Jr. is outside for ball one. I want to say the temperature in Celsius. I'm going to have to convert it to Fahrenheit for you guys. Just misses outside on that pitch, ball two. A sweeper, no more than 2 inches outside of the zone. Here comes the 2-0 pitch. That one's grounded right through the hole. 94-mile-per-hour sinker right in the middle of the plate. Guerrero puts it right through the gap between Paredes and Pena. So the Astros, or rather Gusto, gives up a second hit. And the Blue Jays have a leadoff base runner here in the top of the fourth. And suddenly my connection having issues again after me just saying that it was working pretty well. That brings Anthony Santander up to the plate. The first pitch to him is a ball. 1-0. The MLB connection seems to not be working so well right now. It keeps locking up for some reason. 2 balls and no strikes. Another ball to Santander. Here comes the 2-0 pitch. Swing and a miss on a high fastball. 2 balls, 1 strike. I'm using my Rakuten Mobile unlimited data on my phone as a Wi-Fi hotspot, and I really need it to buckle down and give me some help here. Here's the 2-1 pitch to Santander. Swing and a miss again. Another high fastball. 2-2. It looks like Santander thought that was strike 3 for a moment. It looked like he was going to walk towards the dugout, and then he caught himself. He realized it was 2-2. I guess he wants to strike out. It's fine by me. If he wants to strike out, go ahead and do it. I'm sure that the Astros, as well as myself, will be more than happy for him to do that. Just go ahead and go quietly into the night, Santander. Here's the 2-2 pitch from Gusto. A little high and outside. We're going to have a full count. Croker says, I was stationed in Yokosuka for a bit. I never had an issue with the weather outside of a winter adventure to Hokkaido. Yeah, Hokkaido can be devastatingly cold. It's way up there. Here comes the 3. No. He goes over to first base, but Guerrero is back. He gets his hand in. Santander steps back out of the box for a moment, and now he's back in. Gusto's up on the rubber. We'll have ourselves a 3-2 pitch in just a moment. Can't wait to get to a game at Daikin Park. Swing and a miss. There we go. Anthony Santander is true to form. He wanted to strike out. It looked like he wanted to strike out, and he finally did. Thank you very much. And like I said, he goes quietly into the night. Beautiful pitch by Gusto, high and outside. Could have been ball 4, actually, but Santander went after it. Man, that was well off the plate and high. 94-mile-per-hour fastball. 1 away, 1 runner on first. George Springer at the plate, who popped up earlier. First pitch. Ooh, barely misses, low and outside, ball 1. That was right on the corner. According to the M.D. Anderson Center strike zone, could have been called a strike. Here comes the 1-0 pitch. Strike. Woo! Woo! He made Springer look so bad right there. A sweeper that was literally in the center of the plate. It could not have been more centered in the middle of the plate. Springer took a big swipe at it. Did not even touch it with a foul tip. He almost fell down. He lost his balance there. 1-1 is the count. Here comes the 47th pitch of the game for Geaux Stros. A little in the dirt. Low and outside on that sweeper. 2 balls, 1 strike, 1 away. I wonder if we can get a double play ball out of Springer. I know he can run, so it'd have to be a hard hit ball, but let's see. Here's the 2-1 pitch. This one's hit hard and through. It's past a diving Paredes. It's going to go all the way out to the wall. Might be a score. Altuve gets the ball in. They throw it home, but it's too late. Blue Jays are on the board with that rocket down the third baseline by Springer. He's got himself a double. No shutout for Geaux Stros. That was just a rocket down the line. Paredes was playing off the line, and so he wasn't able to get it. Maybe about a foot past his glove, all the way out to the wall in left field. Altuve got to it pretty fast and got it in, but there was just no way to get the throw there in time. 3-1 on that RBI double by Springer, so he doesn't get hit into the double play. He gets a double instead. Andres Gimenez comes to the plate, takes that first pitch, an 82-mile-per-hour curve for strike 1. So Springer and Geaux Stros are 1-1 against each other. Here comes the 0-1 pitch to Gimenez. He takes that in the dirt. 1 ball, 1 strike. 44C to F. Okay, so back where I was living in Shreveport, it would every summer it would get up to like 110, 111 with high humidity. At some point it would be 110 or 111 with high humidity. It's always high humidity. It's similar in Houston. It's absolutely miserable weather. There's no other way to describe summers in those areas. But it doesn't get quite that hot here in Japan. It does have high humidity, but typically the highest temperature with the humidity here is no more than 102, but in most places it's more like 96. And of course, I'm not saying that's not hot. If you take a 96 degree, well, we got a little pause in the game here. Just a second. Yainer Diaz got hit by that foul ball. He's kind of trying to shake it off. All right. They haven't stopped the pitch clock. Yainer doesn't look too good, though. Here comes the pitch from Geaux Stros. Bounced foul. That was a curve ball. Count remains 1-2. But what I was saying is that I know that 95, 96 degrees with high humidity is not good, but compared to 110 with high humidity, and not only that, Japan has a concentration of 2 months, July and August, where it's really hot and humid. But in the Gulf states, you have many months of hot, humid weather. Strike 3. Gimenez swings at that changeup. Good pitch by Geaux Stros. Out number 2. Alejandro Kirk comes up to the plate in just a moment. So whenever Japanese people or whenever foreigners living here talk about, oh my God, Japan's such miserable weather, it's so hot, it's so humid. It is a little hot and humid for 2 months. That's it. First pitch to Kirk is a little outside for ball 1. People living in Houston and those Gulf states, they have absolutely no idea how much easier it is to live here than there, as far as climate is concerned. Strike 1, low and outside, big swing and a miss by Kirk, and that evens the count. Goes to looking for the call, and he's got what he wants. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. Hit straight up. Is it going to be playable? It looks like it's going to be. Walker's over in foul territory. He grabs it for out number 3. How do you like that? He cradles it and looks at it like it's an egg or something, like some kind of special find. The Blue Jays do manage to get a couple of hits and come away with a run. But we are going into the bottom of the 4th. The Astros up 3-1. Springer stranded on second. Due up for the Astros in just a moment. Mauricio Dubon, who's 1 for 1 today with a single, followed by Chas McCormick. I'm not sure they gave Chas a hit or not. They should have. He laid down that bunt and he got on base. Did they give him a hit? Yes, they did. Thank you so much. At first, they did not give him a hit. They were going to say it was kind of a fielder's choice because the pitcher grabbed it up as fast as he could and he threw it to third, but DeCenzo beat the throw. However, what they're saying is that it would have been really difficult and unlikely for the pitcher to get that out at first base, even on Chas. So they gave him a hit, and good for him. Many Astros have a hit this game. Altuve, Alvarez, Walker has 2, Diaz, DeCenzo, let's see, Dubon, McCormick. Everybody has a hit except for 2 players, Paredes and Pena. Everybody else has at least 1 hit, and Walker with 2, a homer and a single. That's what I like to see. When you look through the whole lineup, that's the thing that I really feel strongly about with this lineup. After I kind of got used to seeing these players and understanding their history, the guys that I don't know very well, because guys like Altuve and Alvarez, Pena, Diaz, these guys, even DeCenzo a little bit, but Dubon, McCormick, I'm already familiar with all of these guys, but we have some other guys in the lineup that I don't know very well yet, or I didn't, like Walker and Paredes. And, of course, we had Cam Smith come in. And I had no idea exactly how they were going to do, but when I looked at their historical statistics, I thought, man, this is a lineup that could actually be getting hits throughout the lineup. And right now they're doing that. They're looking like a World Series team. Dubon is up at the plate facing Francis. Here comes the first pitch. Little check swing foul ball, strike 1. So the way I look at it is, if all of the Astros players just play their average the way they've been playing over the past several seasons, they can go all the way to the World Series because the pitching is great. Here's the next pitch to Dubon. He takes that inside. Looks like he wanted to go on that one, but it would have crushed his hands. It was so far inside. Did they call that a strike? Are you kidding me? That was not a ball? Ball's hit past the mound, the third pitch. While I'm trying to figure out how they got a second strike on Dubon, they throw the third pitch. Dubon hits it past the pitcher. Let's take a look at I'll take a look at the replay. He hits it off the end of the bat. It hits the glove of the pitcher. It bounces to the second baseman who fumbles it. Somehow they still got him at first base. That was really, really close, but Dubon gets thrown out for out number 1. Man. McCormick is up to bat. He bunted for a hit his last at bat. Ball 1. Good take for him. Here comes the next pitch. Oh, a little half swing. Fastball right in there, 92 miles an hour, but Chas didn't commit to a full swing. Just kind of threw the bat out there. 1 ball, 1 strike. 1 out, no runners on. See if the Astros can get a makeup run to erase that one that the Blue Jays got. Here it comes. Just a little inside. Ball 2. Good take and good call by the umpire. That was 2 inches too far inside. Not a bad looking pitch. Some umps would like that. Call it a strike, but it was not. Woo, low and outside, but a swing and a miss. Could have been ball 3. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Looked like a sweeper. 82 miles an hour. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Here comes the pitch to the Tasmanian Devil. He hits that one straight up. Looks like it's playable. The third baseman is calling it. No, the shortstop calls him off. Puts it away. Bichette catches that one, and Chaz goes down on the infield fly out. 2 outs, no runners on for Jose Altuve. Altuve had a really good chance his last at bat with bases loaded, no outs. And unfortunately, he popped up. He's 1 for 2 today, though. He had a single his very first at bat. Currently batting .302. Here's the pitch. He goes after that first one and fouls it off. 93 mile per hour fastball. And it sails out into the crowd on the first base side. Missing any comments in the chat? No, not yet. 0-1. The 60th pitch from Francis. Way up and out. Ball 1. 93 mile an hour fastball. Come on, Altuve. Here's the pitch. He grounds that one to the right side. Is he going to be able to beat the throw? No, he doesn't. The first baseman grabs that tapper to the right side, lobs it to the pitcher. The pitcher barely gets his foot on the base just before Altuve does. That was really close. But Altuve grounds out to the infield. Out number 3. And we go into the top of the 5th, guys. Kind of a quiet game, even though there have been a few runs scored. It's 3-1 Astros. And here in the top of the 5th, quite a bit of hits for the Astros right now. 3 runs on the board. 8 hits for the Stros, 3 hits for the Blue Jays. No errors for either team. Due up for the Blue Jays in just a moment, Addison Barger, or is it Barger? Will Wagner, and then Alan Rodin. Gusto will be back up on the mound in just a moment. He's at 56 pitches, so averaging 14 so far per inning. A little high. I'd like to see him at 12 or less, so he could go a full 7 innings. But he's plugging along. He's got his ERA down to 3 right now. It's not bad. It's respectable. How many people do we have listening in right now or following along? 7. And got 10 likes on the live stream. I don't think we've had more than about 10 people watching the live stream at the same time today. It's been a rather quiet live stream. I guess that the Blue Jays Astros games aren't very popular for most Stros fans. It's really interesting, guys. I was trying to say earlier, I didn't really get around to expressing it, but yesterday I got very interested in checking out some of the live streamers who were doing the Blue Jays games. Addison Barger's in there right now. He takes the first pitch for ball 1. But I've checked out a few different channels. Some of these channels have almost 30,000 subscribers that have been doing the Blue Jays live play-by-play. That's grounded up the middle. Pena grabs it, throws to first. Barger is out. Second pitch, ground ball out for Gusto. 1 away. Will Wagner is due up in just a moment. But it's really interesting because I noticed a couple of things. One thing that I noticed about those channels is that they sit there for a really, really long time and don't say anything. It's extremely boring. Who would listen to that? Oh, that first pitch is an 88 mile per hour changeup. It misses the outside edge by about 1 inch. 1-0. 60 pitches for Gusto after this one. It's on the way, and that one's in there. No doubter, 93 miles an hour just inside the outside edge. Will Wagner taking 2 pitches in a row. He struck out his last at bat. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. Gusto puts that one outside also, but that one was about 4 inches out of the zone. 3 straight takes for Wagner. 2 balls, 1 strike. But what I was wondering is how can a Toronto Blue Jays live play-by-play channel have almost 30,000 subs and they're just sitting there watching the game and listening and giving almost no commentary? Fouled away by Will Wagner, by the way, for a strike 2. The count is even. Gusto gets the call he wants. Here comes the delivery. Fouled back again. Count remains 2-2. One of the things that I don't like to do on this channel is leave too much dead space. I know you guys are wondering what's happening in the game, even if nothing is going on for like 10 seconds. I don't want to just sit here and be quiet for 10 seconds. 2-2 is the count to Will Wagner. Here comes the pitch from Gusto. Fouled back again. 95-mile-per-hour pitch right up in the zone. So whenever I see a channel with a live streamer or a couple of guys just sitting there staring at the screen, not saying anything for like 10 or 15 seconds, I don't quite get it. Here's the pitch. Woo, inside. Check swing. Did he go? No. The umpire says he did not. Full count. One out, no runners on. Full count to Will Wagner. Ryan Gusto about to deliver the full count pitch. Here it comes. Right in there again, fouled back by Wagner. 93 miles an hour on that one. But I'm kind of wondering, it's not just one channel. There are several channels for the Blue Jays, and actually many teams have several live play-by-play commentators. But the Astros right now, as far as I know, only have one, and that's mine. I don't get it. Here's a 3-2 pitch. Ooh, he finally got him with a swing and a miss. A cutter, 89 miles an hour in the upper outside corner. Swing and a whiff. Wagner's jockstrap is left hanging in the rafters. Good pitch. Alan Roden comes into the box, and here's the first pitch from Gusto. In the dirt, a curveball. Ball 1. Roden is 0 for 1 tonight with a ground out. Very light crowd in Daikin Park today. This one's hit to the right side. A diving catch by Walker. What an amazing catch. It was going right through the gap between Walker and Dubon. Walker took 2 steps and then dove, backhanded it. Almost face planted in the dirt. Lobbed it to Gusto, who covered the bag. A good 4 steps before Roden could even get there. Once again, the Astros defense coming through with professional quality. That does it for the top of the 5th. We go into the bottom of the 5th. Gusto still getting it done. 3 hits and 1 run for the Blue Jays. Astros have Yordan Alvarez, Isacthabal Paredes, and Jeremy the Flash Pena coming up in just a moment. Air Yordan is 1 for 1 today with a scorching single. His batting average has been creeping up slowly but surely. He's now at 224. He still hasn't quite shaken off the rust yet. He's been threatening with some deep shots here and there, but he hasn't been crushing the ball, getting those extra base hits like he normally does. Everyone expects that he will, but I also expect the same kind of things from Paredes and Walker. And Walker has been showing that today. He had a home run and a single. Paredes hasn't done anything yet today. But he's got the ability. That's the thing about this lineup. Everybody in this lineup right now has the ability to contribute. Croker says Canadian team fans are more like Euro football clubs. Yeah, that's pretty, I guess you could say pretty enthusiastic, right? Passionate. That's the thing that I really don't get. As an Astros fan myself, if I have the time, I have the money, then I'm watching the games. I'm going to the games, this sort of thing. That's what I would be doing. Obviously, I don't live in Houston, so I can't just go to the game, but I can watch the games and I can look at the highlights of the games and I can support them. First pitch to Alvarez is way up high and outside, ball 1. So I don't quite understand whenever the fans don't show their support for just some games, just like the main games. If the Astros are hosting the Yankees or the Dodgers or something, then everybody will show up. But I think they should also show up for games like this. Inside for ball 2, 2-0 to Alvarez. Here comes the pitch from Francis. That's right in there, a 92-mile-per-hour fastball right in the center of the plate. 2 balls and 1 strike. Alvarez just waiting for Francis to start putting it in the zone. High fastball. Ball 3. Good take by Alvarez. Not swinging at that one. 3 balls, 1 strike. Let's see if he's swinging away here. Here comes the pitch. He lets it go, but it's a strike on the outside edge. That could have gone either way. That was just barely on there. The edge of the ball clipped the zone. Full count. And 65 pitches now for Francis. Here comes the next one. This one's fouled back. Another pitch on the very edge of the zone. Good swing by Alvarez to not let that one go by. No outs. Jordan's the leadoff batter this inning. 3 balls and 2 strikes to the big man. Here comes the pitch. This one's fouled back. It was right in the zone, 94 miles an hour. Count remains 3-2. Little bit of a battle going on right now. Francis has lost the first battle to Alvarez with that scorching single, his last at bat. See what we can do here. Alvarez fouls it off again, a 93-mile-per-hour fastball low and away. 69 pitches, the 70th of the game coming for Francis in just a moment. And here it comes. Foul back again, 95-mile-per-hour pitch. Francis is just throwing it harder and harder. He's going from 93 to 94 to 95, trying to slip that fastball past Alvarez, but Alvarez keeps fouling him off. This will be his 10th pitch to Alvarez. It's on the way. Fouled off again. This one's low in the zone. Another 95. He's just throwing fastball, fastball, fastball. I mean, give him credit. He's trying to get it past Alvarez. He's just committed to that fastball. I wonder if he's going to throw a breaking ball to throw him off, but we'll see. Or if he's just going to try to fight him. He throws it inside again, another fastball, but he misses. Good take. 93-mile-per-hour fastball, maybe 2 inches too far inside. The big man gets a walk. What a great at-bat by Alvarez. He kept swinging at everything that was even close. Man, somebody's cooking something really delicious right now. I don't know what it is, but it smells good. It smells like waffles. My gosh, I don't remember the last time I had waffles. Isak, the ball, Paredes comes in. Takes the first pitch on the outside edge for strike 1. Whoops, I put ball 1 by accident. My bad. Oh and 1. Here comes the pitch. He takes that one just a little low. Check swing, ball 1. Splitter, 82 miles an hour. I wonder if he had thrown that splitter to Alvarez, what the outcome would have been. Counts even 1-1 with Jordan on first base, no outs. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss in the same exact spot. The same pitch, the splitter. Same speed, same spot, same everything. And he gets ahead in the count, 1-2. Paredes is 0 for 2 today. He calls timeout and backs out. He's thinking about how he can get himself a hit. He and Pena are the only two batters in the lineup for the Astros right now without a hit. Here comes a 1-2 pitch. In the dirt. Good stop by Kirk, the catcher. He keeps it in front of him. The count is 2-2. I don't know why I accidentally had the count as 2-1 before. It was 1-2, but now it's 2-2. So we're all good. No outs. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Paredes trying to do something to move Jordan around the bases. How about put it in the Crawford boxes? That'd be nice. Here's the pitch. Foul back. 92-mile-per-hour fastball. Croker says Houston population is now an even mix of native Houstonians and transplants from around the country, so the new folk keep their old favorites rather than support their new home. Yeah, that's unfortunate. Here comes the pitch. That's on the way to the second baseman. Looks like it's going to be a double play ball. Did they get him at first? They say they did, but Paredes is saying that he wants them to check that. It was really close. We'll see. But there's definitely at least 1 out. Yeah, he's safe by a mile. I don't know how the the umpire missed that one. Paredes is safe at first base, so we'll have 1 out. They're going to challenge it. I don't know why in the world Paredes beat that throw by at least a full step. At least a full step. It was obvious. And the umpire called him out. So the Astros are challenging it. Paredes will be safe by a mile. So Jordan is out at second base. Paredes will be safe at first. Unfortunately, that he didn't advance the runner. But at least we still have a runner on with 1 out. Once again, I have to reload the MLB live stream. And they announced that Paredes is safe. Crowd cheers. Jeremy Pena comes to the plate. Another guy who doesn't have a hit yet this game, and he's got a hit streak on the line. Second longest active hitting streak in the MLB right now. Here's the first pitch to Pena. This is hit to right field. Is it going to be down? Diving catch by the right fielder. Did he get it? Yes, he did. Holy cow, what a catch. He went down really hard, too, on that catch. George Springer's checking on him, but man, he dove down, and that ball in his arm and the glove, everything just twisted around. Somehow he managed to hang on to that ball. He robs Pena of a hit. Barger gets the catch. Man, 2 away, runner on first. That's interesting. They're going to pull Bowden Francis out. He's facing Christian Walker with a runner on and 2 outs, but they're not going to let him hit. Christian Walker has a home run and a single off of Francis, but they're going to pull him out and bring in their relief pitcher here in the bottom of the 5th. Pretty interesting. They're not going to let him have a chance. I guess they're scared of Christian Walker. You know, it's interesting, Kroger, that what you said, we'll go back to that now that they're taking a break for the pitching change. Because what I noticed is that whenever the Astros play some of these teams, the crowd is packed, right? The stadium is sold out. And, of course, most of the fans are Houston fans. But you'll also see a lot of the, just when I'm watching the game feed, the live game feed, and I'm seeing the crowd, I am seeing some people in the crowd wearing the other team's stuff. And, of course, that's always the case whenever you see a game in another stadium. You know, if you go to Toronto and see a game there, you're going to see some people in the crowd wearing Astros stuff. It's just the nature of things. But I will say this though, it's really interesting whenever there's a game in Arlington. Is that right? Where they play the Rangers. I think it's hilarious because whenever the Astros do well, they get hits, they score runs or whatever. Often the crowd sounds like a Houston crowd and not the Rangers fans. So I feel like half the stadium or more are actually Astros fans, not Rangers fans. So I've always found that pretty interesting and funny. Chad Green is on the mound now for the Blue Jays. He's allowed 3 home runs in 9.2 innings, 2.79 ERA, 2 walks. Christian Walker at the plate. First pitch is right in there, 94 mile per hour. Blah, blah, blah. I can't speak. 94 mile per hour fastball. How about that? 2 for 2 is Walker. And of course my live stream freezes. Probably gonna give me another it gives me the event about to start screen. Thank you, MLB TV. I appreciate that. Let me reload the screen right quick. 0-1 to Walker. The next pitch was what? A ball. So it's 1-1. Here comes the third pitch, low and away for ball 2. 2 balls, 1 strike to Walker. Paredes on first base with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 5th. Here's the pitch to Walker. Low and away. Ball 3. Apparently they're not really wanting to pitch to Walker too much. That first pitch was a strike and everything after that not challenging. Walker looking very serious right now. Here comes the 3-1 pitch. He fouls that one back and away and immediately takes another practice swing. Yeah, he's not happy with that swing. That slider was right in the middle of the plate. 3 balls and 2 strikes. 2 outs, runner on first. Come on, Walker. Let's go 3 for 3 today. Here comes the pitch. Right in there, and he grounds that one to short, who fires over. And that's out number 3. So the Astros don't get anything else. No hits, no runs here in the bottom of the 5th. We're going to go into the top of the 6th, guys. Astros still up 3-1. I want to see the Astros with at least 1 more run on the board. I don't know if you are all familiar with the way the average stats work for baseball games in the MLB right now, but you could say that the average runs scored are basically 4. So if you're not scoring at least 4 runs, then you're not even scoring the average. So that's kind of the minimal number of runs you need to score. However, if you look at the Astros stats in particular, and you ask yourself the question, what is their record? What is their winning percentage, rather, when they score at least 4 runs in a game? And it is really, really good. The reason for that is because if they can get at least 4 runs on the board, their pitching typically shuts down the other team. The other team has a hard time getting 4 runs. So when the Astros score 4, there's a really high chance, perhaps 85% chance, that they're going to win that game, maybe even higher. That's why I want to see them with at least 4 runs every game. However, what I don't like to see is lopsided scoring. I do like the fact that we have 7 different Astros with hits in this game so far, but they've been a little quiet after the 2nd inning. So they need to get it together the second half of this game. My expectation is that the Astros have at least 5 runs, but I'll be happy if they can get at least one more. However, 5 runs they should be able to get on this team in this game. We'll see. Gusto's back up on the mound facing the top of the order with Bo Bichette. Here comes the first pitch. The 70th pitch of the game for Gusto, and it's hit out to right field. DeCenzo has to run to get it, but he's got it. 1 pitch, 1 out. Well, that's pretty funny. Bo Bichette in this game, he's over 3, and he's only taken 3 pitches. He's swung and gotten out on 3 straight pitches. Can you believe that? That's hilarious. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. is at the plate. Here comes the pitch from Gusto. Right in there, 92 in the center of the plate, strike 1. Gusto cruising along right now. That's his 71st pitch. Here comes the next delivery. Too far inside on that curveball. The count is even, 1-1. Croker, I was going to say something earlier. I've learned a lot about different countries' cultures and how people are so different and whatever, and Chinese are some of the most different, and I can explain why in just a moment. That pitch misses just low, an 89 mile per hour changeup. 2 balls and 1 strike to Guerrero. No matter where they go in the world, most Chinese, if they were born and raised in China, when they go out, they tend to not accept any cultural stuff, even the holidays. They're more than happy to be off for the holidays and be paid for the holidays, but they don't celebrate those holidays. They don't have anything to do with those things. They do not integrate. 2 balls and 2 strikes with that foul ball. Guerrero behind in the count. Here comes the 2-2 from Gusto. High, 96 mile per hour fastball, good 6 inches out of the zone, and that's a full count. That's one of the things I've noticed. Whenever Chinese leave China and they go to another country, they seek out other Chinese, and they become friends with other Chinese, and they stay with other Chinese. They don't usually, the majority of Chinese do not make good friends with local people. They don't absorb local customs or get involved with local food. Not at all. It's typically just Chinese everything all the time. Swing and a miss, an 82 mile per hour sweeper right in there. Guerrero could not get the bat on it. Gusto picks up another strikeout. 2 away here in the top of the 6th. Man, Guerrero tried to get underneath it. Completely went over his bat. Anthony Santander comes to the plate. Here's the first pitch from Gusto. Just a little high on that fastball. Ball 1. 2 strikeouts for Santander today. His batting average is down to 191. Here comes the next pitch. That one's also too high. 93 mile per hour fastball. 2-0 is the count with 2 outs. But Japanese people are much more open-minded about trying new foods. Even if they've never tried them, they're more than happy to try, and they really enjoy that. But Chinese are very, very skeptical of food that they don't recognize. Check swing there, and they say he did not go. Ball 3. 3-0. So after 2 quick outs, we now have a 3-0 count against Santander. The 80th pitch of the game coming for Gusto now. High and outside. 4-pitch walk. Pretty amazing. It looks like that's going to be it for Gusto. Espada's walking out to the mound. 4 straight balls. Espada wastes no time, and they go to the bullpen. Man, I would have really liked for him to get through at least 6, if not 7. But at this 80th pitch, his 80th pitch is his last. Gusto did a good job. The crowd cheers a little bit. It's a pretty weak amount of applause. But Gusto gives up just a couple of hits, 1 earned run. Well, 3 hits, 1 earned run. And he will exit with 2 outs, 1 runner on first after that 4-pitch walk. I didn't get to see in the bullpen who was warming up. So who do you guys think is in the bullpen right now for the Astros? Who do you think is going to come in the game this early to close out the 5th? I'm sorry, to close out the 6th. To close out the top of the 6th. Is it going to be Taylor Scott? Is it going to be Brian King? I would say Brian King will be our 7th inning guy. In the top of the 6th with 1 out, we only need 1 out. Maybe Taylor Scott will come in for that 1 out. We'll see. Let me pull up the game information and see if it's updated yet. It is King. They're going to bring Brian King in. I'm a little surprised that they brought him in this early. I'm really surprised. Now, if they keep him in for the next inning as well, then that's fine. But they didn't do that yesterday. They brought King in for like 1 batter and then pulled him out. Here's the first pitch from King. He's facing George Springer on the very first pitch. George Springer hits it straight up. 1 pitch, just like yesterday. He comes in, 1 pitch. George Springer hits a fly ball straight up to the first base side. Christian Walker puts it away for out number 3. The commentators, the Astro commentators, said that they were going to call him by his new nickname, 1 Pitch King. 1 pitch, 1 out. Same thing he did yesterday. He came in with 2 outs, 1 pitch, 1 out. Came in today with 2 outs, 1 pitch, 1 out. That's hilarious. Man, I love Brian King. I really do. I like him a lot. I watched so many games last year, and he's one of the guys that I really felt like was going to be a solid, long-term guy for the Astros. A very dependable guy. I want to keep him around. Let's reset all these stats. We go into the bottom of the 6th. Astros up 3-1. Okay. And let me double check the live stream, make sure it's all looking good. Yeah, it's good. Croker says, I've had little interaction with Chinese, but Taiwanese tend to be more of interest. You're absolutely right. That's a good observation. Taiwanese are a completely different type of people. Their society, their culture, their government, their belief systems, their way of thinking, the way they view other countries, even the way they view Japan, despite the history with the war and everything, Taiwan has a completely different relationship and general view of Japan and Japanese people. They don't get the indoctrination, the anti-foreigner indoctrination that exists in China. That's just the truth. I know that some people will try to defend that and argue with it, but it's just true. I lived in China for almost 7 years, and I can tell you 100% for sure that the government teaches the people to always remember the past and really hate and look at America unfavorably, look at Japan unfavorably. One to Yainer Diaz, who swings and misses at that first pitch. Chad Green on the mound for the Blue Jays. That pitch is outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Let's see if I can get Chad Green, his picture. 1 ball, 1 strike to Diaz. Here's the pitch. Diaz bounces that one foul for strike 2. I don't think I have Chad Green's picture in my folder, so I'm going to go ahead and save that. Yeah, I don't have it. Here comes the next pitch from Chad, or Green rather. It seems kind of strange to just call him Chad. 1-2 is the pitch. Outside, ball 2. Counts even. Chad Green. Let's change his picture on the screen. 2-2 count. Fouled off. Count remains 2-2. Two balls, two strikes to Yiner. Here comes the pitch from Green. Hit up the middle. That's going to be another base hit for Yiner Diaz. He's got a triple and a single today. How about that? Leadoff base runner for the Astros on a 2-2 count. And that's going to bring up Zach DeCinzo. Astros now with 9 hits with that one right up the middle. Mauricio Dubon on deck. DeCinzo today with a single, an RBI. Here comes the pitch. A little inside, ball 1. Good take. DeCinzo with the RBI single, and he scored a run. Here comes a 1-0 pitch. He hits that one hard to left field. Is it going to be playable? No, it's down for another base hit. Back-to-back singles for the Astros. All right. Good swing, good smooth swing, and just lined it right out into left field. Four-seam fastball on the inside, and DeCinzo just pulled it. Didn't get full extension, but he was able to muscle it out into left field. Good hit. That brings up Mauricio Dubon, who also has himself a hit today. He shows bunt, and he pulls back. That sweeper goes way outside. Ball 1. One for 2 today. Here comes a 1-0 pitch to Dubon. He shows bunt again. He pulls back, but that's a strike. First baseman was way in. Way in on that. 1 ball, 1 strike to Dubon. We got runners on first and second with no outs here in the bottom of the 6th. 10 hits for the Astros right now. Finally got to double digits. Here's the pitch. It's popped in the air on a bunt, and it's caught by the third baseman in foul territory. So Dubon fouls out on a bunt. First out of the inning. I would have preferred for them to just try to lightly hit the ball. Victor Caratini is going to be batting in place of Chas McCormick. No doubt Caratini is coming in so that he can bat lefty against Chad Green, the right-handed pitcher. Blue Jays coach is going to come out to the mound and have a little chit-chat. Caratini, his career pinch hitting is .272. That's respectable. A couple of doubles, a few homers, 17 RBIs, 12 runs scored. Victor Caratini, the Batman himself, with his orange gloves. Comes up to the plate and is batting left-handed fashion. Astros trying to add to their lead right now here in the bottom of the 6th, 3-1 with 10 hits. Altuve is on deck. Chad Green comes set. Here's the first pitch to Caratini. High and outside. Good take. Ball 1. The fastball missing well outside the zone. Let's see if Caratini's got that serious look on his face. Yeah, he does. He always has that like really serious Batman look. Here's the pitch. Woo! Low and inside, but it catches the corner for strike 1. Not where he was expecting it, rather not where the catcher was expecting it to go, but it made it in there. 1-1 is the count. Here comes a 1-1 pitch. Caratini lets that one go high, 95-mile-per-hour fastball. 2 balls and 1 strike. We have another opportunity with bases loaded and Jose Altuve. That'd be great. I'm telling you guys, I want to see that Altuve grand slam. Fouled off, 95, right inside 95 miles an hour, and that'll be strike 2. The count is even. Come on, Batman. Superman's due up next. Let's see what you can do. Here's the pitch. In the dirt, a little check swing. Did he go? They say he did not. 3-2. That pitch was in the dirt. The crowd cheering a little bit. Yeah, it looks like the crowd is about 75% full, maybe a little more. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Fastball up and out, but it was in the corner of the zone, and Caratini just couldn't get the bat on it. Out number 2. So it's up to Altuve now to try to move our runner around and to get some insurance runs here. Really been waiting for Altuve to come through with runners in scoring position. Versus Chad Green for his career, he's batting .364. Here's the first pitch way outside. Slider. I guess he was banking on Altuve going after the first pitch no matter what. And that one was about a foot outside the zone. Altuve takes it wisely. 1-0 is the count. Here comes the next pitch from Green. Altuve goes after that one, and he hits it to the third baseman, who goes to second for the out, and he gets him. Force at second. DeCenzo was trying to get there as quickly as he could, but that's going to be it. Altuve grounds into a fielder's choice. Astros come away with nothing that inning. They strand 2 runners. That's unfortunate. Top of the 7th coming up, guys. 10 hits for the Astros and 3 runs. 3 hits for the Blue Jays and 1 run. We'll see who's on the mound for the Astros in just a moment. Let's see if they keep King in the game or if they're going to bring in another pitcher. Currently, the information on the screen still says King, but that often doesn't update until the game it's already come back to the game. So let's see. I'm going to open the screen and we'll see. Brian King's ERA is at 1.64 right now. Gusto, his ERA is down to 2.78. He was able to drop it below 3. Very happy with his performance today, just giving up the 1 run. 6 strikeouts in 5.2 innings, only 1 walk, and just 3 hits. Good solid 5.2 innings of work, 5 2/3 innings of work for Gusto. Currently, it looks like King is still in the game, but let's see. Just like yesterday, King is laughing with the umpire as he's checking his gloves. He's like, just 1 pitch, he's checking his gloves. It's pretty funny. King is back on the mound. I'm really happy to see him back on the mound. Yesterday, I was disappointed that they didn't keep him in there, but I'm glad to see him in there today. The left-hander facing Andres Gimenez. Here comes the first pitch. It's a little low, 88 miles an hour. Yiner lets it go by, basically. It clips his glove and then bounces to the backstop. King will get a new ball. Here comes the next pitch to Gimenez. He tries a bunt. He does get it down. Quick scoop up. How do you like that play by Dubon? A bunt, a quick bunt on the right side breaks the bat of Gimenez. Dubon rushes in, scoops the ball up with his glove, and tosses it. He literally scoops the ball with his glove to first base to Walker, who catches it for the out. Maybe a half step before Jimenez got there. He didn't have time to transfer that ball into his hand. He just scooped it with his glove to Walker. Man, what a great Gold Glove style play right there. Didn't even use his hand, just scooped it with his glove. Next pitch from King is right in there for strike one, 91 mile per hour fastball. He's facing Alejandro Kirk. Woo, in the bottom of the zone, 80 mile per hour sweeper taken for strike two. 0-2 against Kirk. King moving pretty quick. Here comes the next pitch. This one's hit hard to right field. It should be playable, and it is. DeCenzo grabs it, no problem. Out number two, fly ball just before the warning track in the grass. 2 up and 2 down for King. Man, I love this picture they show of Brian King where he's like, he's screaming. Looks like James Hetfield singing a song for Metallica. Has that same look. I don't know why, but maybe it's because of the hair in the back. 2 away. You're in the top of the 7th. 6 pitches for Brian King. He's gotten 3 outs in 6 pitches. Miles Straw is in the game now. Pitching coach for the Astros. Miller is out. Josh Miller. He's out to talk with Brian King. Barger is out of the game, and Straw is pinch hitting. Chas McCormick takes a break from center field, and Jake Myers comes into the game. Straw steps into the batter's box. Astros are ready to go. King is back on the mound. Here comes the pitch. Right in the bottom of the zone. Whoo, 92 miles per hour strike. Couldn't have been more perfect than that. 0-1 is the count. Here comes the next pitch to Straw. That one's almost in the same spot. Hit to Dubon. Picks it up. Throws to first. 3 up and 3 down. 8 pitches for Brian King. That's all he needed. 8 pitches to get 4 outs. 2 pitches per batter on average. Brian King is the man, guys. I'm telling you, he's the man. That's it for the top of the 7th. We go into the bottom of the 7th. The Astros will be back up in just a moment. 3-1. They lead this game. Anything going on in the chat? Nothing new. Only got about 5 people following along, but thank you for being here. 11 likes on the live stream. Thank you guys for that. These days, the view count is not very high. At least not yet. Last year, my view counts were way up there, getting close to 2,000. I think my highest was right below 2,000 for a game. The most amount of likes that I was able to get was over 50. Concurrent views, in other words, people viewing the live stream simultaneously, got up to about 58 or 60. And so far this year, the maximum has been 20. That's respectable. But I hope to have this channel, this season, my goal is to have this channel over 1,000 subscribers and to consistently be having more than 100 listening in and watching simultaneously with over 100 likes on every live stream. But it takes time. During the off season, I took a big hit because I wasn't posting anything. I was focused on studying Japanese because I was in language school full time. But if you guys enjoy listening to the Astros live play-by-play in English, then I appreciate you being here. Feel free to like and sub and share the channel for anyone that might be interested. And those of you who keep coming back, thank you so much. I appreciate it. By the way, one of my longtime listeners from last year, her name is Pam, if for some reason you happen to be listening, you don't necessarily have to respond, but I just wanted to say I did see your message later on about having surgery, and I wish you nothing but the best. I've had surgery a few times, and it's no fun. Some pretty major surgery, too, so my thoughts and prayers are with you. Yordan Alvarez is at the plate, facing a new pitcher, Yimi Garcia. First pitch is outside for ball 1. Yimi Garcia. Next pitch is on the way. 93 miles an hour in the lower outer portion of the zone. Let's see if I can get his picture saved. Ball 2 to Yordan. 2-1. Here's the pitch from Garcia. That one's hit really hard to right field all the way out there. It looks like it's going to be close at the warning track. No, it's about 5 feet shy of the wall. Yordan gave it a ride, but he just got too far underneath it. And that's going to be out number 1. Yordan misses an opportunity, a great opportunity for a home run ball there. Mr. Yordan, what are you doing? Yimi Garcia. Next batter is Isaac Paredes, who takes that for ball 1. Paredes is one of the only Astros without a hit today. He and Pena are the only ones. Here's the next pitch. That's hit hard to left field. Is it going to get down? Yes! Paredes gets the single to left field on a broken bat. As soon as I mention it, that he doesn't have a hit, he goes and he gets himself a hit. We have a 1-out base runner on first base. All right. Now Pena comes up. Let's see if he can get his hit for the day. He also has a streak on the line. Here comes the first pitch to Pena. That one's low. Good take. 87 mile per hour. Looked like a slider. No, they say it was a sweeper. That didn't look like a sweeper to me. 1-0 is the count. Here comes the delivery. Hit up the middle, and it's off the pitcher, and it goes into right field. And Isaac Paredes is going to try. No, he goes back to second. I thought he was going to get to third, but Pena finally gets a hit. His hit streak is extended. He hit that one really hard, and it looked like it went off the leg of the pitcher. It did. Let's see that again. Man, I'm glad that Paredes held up. It looked like the right fielder was in on that. Jeremy Pena and Bobby Witt Jr. have the longest hit streaks that are currently active in the majors right now at 14. 14 games in a row. Pena really coming back. What is his batting average right now? 253. It's climbing. And now the coach is out on the mound checking on the pitcher, Yimi Garcia, to make sure he's all right. They're going to give him a couple of warm-up tosses. The umpire is out there to make sure he's all right. Yeah, that ball tagged him on the leg, so they want to make sure he's good to go. He takes a few warm-up pitches. It looks like he's going to stay in the game. Jeremy Pena on first. Isaac Paredes on second. Astros up to 12 hits now. 12 hits. Christian Walker comes to the plate. He's having a really good day today. 2 for 3. With a solo home run and a single. He's looking pretty serious right now. Here comes the first pitch from Garcia. He takes that one a little low, but it's a strike. 97 miles an hour in the bottom of the zone. Brian Abreu is warming up in the bullpen for the Astros right now. Here's the 0-1 pitch to Walker. High fastball, swing and a miss. That was a good pitch. Not much of a chance for Walker to get the bat on that one. Oh, Steven Okert and Brian Abreu are warming up. I guess it just depends. If the Astros tack on some more runs, we'll probably see Okert. Oh, 0-2 is the count against Walker. Garcia comes set. Here's the lob to home plate. Strike 3. Fooled him with that sweeper. Walker thought it was going to be inside, and he pulled back, but that came back in and was right in the bottom of the zone, out number 2. So Walker started off the game looking really good, but at that at bat, he looked like an amateur. Good pitching by Garcia. Give credit where credit is due. So Garcia got owned by the first 2 batters, and he comes back with that one. Or the last 2 batters, I should say. 2 outs, 2 runners on. Zach DeCenzo at the plate. I'm sorry, Yainer Diaz at the plate. I was just looking at Zach DeCenzo's name. Diaz, 2 for 3 today. A single and a triple. 1 ball, no strikes to Diaz. Here comes the second pitch. Fouls that one off at the plate. Strike 1. Count is even. One and one. Here comes the pitch. Diaz goes after this one and bounces it to third, and he just steps on the bag. Easy out. And that's going to be it. The Astros strand 2 more runners and come away with nothing. But we're going into the top of the 8th. Astros up 3-1 over the Blue Jays. My guess is that we're going to see Brian Abreu. I don't think they're going to bring in Okert in this situation. That's my guess. So I'm gonna take my guess and change the picture on the screen to Brian Abreu, and we'll see if I'm right. The game is very close, and that's why I'm guessing Abreu over Okert. To the people who are following along right now and still listening in, thank you for being here. Thank you for liking the video. Thank you for your subscription. Thank you for your comments and support. I appreciate you being here. My live stream goal right now is to get to 20 likes, but I think that the amount of views that we have today are not high enough to get to 20 likes. Sitting at 11 currently, and I appreciate that. But here in the top of the 8th, the Astros are holding on to their 3-1 lead. The 3 runs that they got back in the second being the only ones that they've tacked on the board today. Despite having 12 hits, the Astros have stranded quite a number of runners. If you can believe it, they've left 23 runners on base. So many missed opportunities today. Hitting the ball and getting on base, but not moving the runners in those key moments. Several times where they had runners in scoring position, bases loaded, and did nothing with it. Not playing quite as well from the batting side today as they did the first 2 games of this series, but we still have 2 more innings of ball. That's right, Brian Abreu is in. I was correct about that call. 10.2 innings pitched for Abreu, 2.53 ERA, 15 strikeouts. in 10 innings, 10.2. Here comes the first pitch to Will Wagner. Strike, up and out, 95 miles an hour in that corner. Perfectly placed pitch by Abreu. 2 strikeouts today for Wagner. Here comes the next pitch. That one's right in the middle, right into center field. Myers drifts over and grabs it. Out number 1, and that's a 2-pitch first out for Bryan Abreu. So Wagner has flown out and struck out twice today. Alan Rodin comes to the plate, left-hander facing Abreu. Here comes the first pitch. A little low on that slider, ball 1. 2 groundouts today for Rodin. Here's the pitch. That one's in there. Another slider in the bottom part of the zone finds its mark and evens the count, 1-1. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. Abreu gets him swinging. He fouls it off. 97-mile-per-hour fastball. Back into the crowd for strike 2. Bryan Abreu getting ahead in the count here. Man, what a massive tattoo on his neck. Like right here on the back of his neck and his head. Here's a 1-2 pitch. Too far inside and low on that slider. And that evens the count, 2-2. Two balls, 2 strikes. Here comes the pitch. And that one just barely misses the inside edge. 98-mile-per-hour fastball by about maybe 1 inch. Full count. Here comes the next pitch to Rodin. This one's fouled off. 86-mile-per-hour slider. It was right in there. That would have been strike 3. Here comes the 3-2 pitch again. Rodin swings, but he can't touch it. 87-mile-per-hour slider low and inside. Chalk that up as a K for Mr. Bryan Abreu, and that is out number 2 here in the top of the 8th. That was a good-looking pitch. It started off in the strike zone. Rodin was completely fooled and went after it. Good pitch. Bo Bichette is now at the plate. He goes after the first pitch, and that's going to be a hit up the middle. Very first pitch, light swing, easy hit. Abreu gives up a single. That's the 4th hit of the game for the Blue Jays. First hit of the game for Bichette. He's 1 for 4 today. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. comes to the plate. Here comes the first pitch from Abreu. Check swing just outside. Ball 1. 88-mile-per-hour slider. Guerrero is 0 for 6 in his career against Bryan Abreu. Here comes a 1-0 pitch. Swing and a miss. A 97-mile-per-hour heater on that outside edge, and that evens the count, 1-1. Two away, runner on first. 1 ball, 1 strike to Guerrero, who's 1 for 3 today. Let's make it 1 for 4. Here's the pitch. Right in there. Beautiful pitch. 97 in the same spot. That outside edge. 97-mile-per-hour fastball. Abreu makes those fastballs look so effortless. I feel like his control is really good on those fastballs, too. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Just a little high and outside on the slider. Probably not exactly where he wanted it. 2-2 is the count. Here's the pitch. That one's grounded to second. Should be it. Pena makes the lob over to first base, and that's the final out of the inning. Astros get out of the eighth, no problem. One hit given up by Abreu, but he gets a strikeout and some easy plays like that ground out there, and does his job. Moves this game into the bottom of the eighth. The Astros have another opportunity here to try to get some more runs. We'll see if they're able to do that. But right now they lead the game 3-1. Zach DeCenzo is due up to bat in just a moment for the Astros, followed by Mauricio Dubon and Jake Myers. Myers hasn't yet had an at-bat in this game. He came in to replace Chas McCormick a little while ago. I would guess that they won't be pinch hitting for any of these guys. DeCenzo's 2 for 3 today. Dubon also has himself a hit. Myers will get his first opportunity at the plate as well. We'll see if they have a pitching change, if Garcia will remain in the game. I would think that they would not leave Garcia in the game, but we'll see. I don't know. My guess is that they're going to have a different pitcher. And they do. Hoffman. Is it Jeremy? No, Jeff. Jeff Hoffman. I was wrong. Jeff Hoffman is in for the Blue Jays. I'm going to change that on the screen. There we go. Jeff Hoffman is in for the Blue Jays. He'll be facing Zach DeCenzo, who's had quite a game today. DeCenzo's average is suddenly back up, looking pretty nice at 286. Here comes the pitch to DeCenzo. Just a little outside, misses by about an inch. Ball 1. Good take by Zach. 1-0. Here's the pitch. That one's in the lower outside part of the plate. Good slider. Evens the count 1-1. Here comes a 1-1 to DeCenzo. Ooh, another slider inside. Barely clips the inside edge. Strike 2. The umpire calling those edges right on. I don't have a problem with the ump right now. He's getting it. I mean, those are close, but they're on there. These are just good pitches by the pitchers, dotting those edges. 1-2 is the count. Here comes the pitch. That one's hit up the middle, and it's going to get through. Another single for DeCenzo. Just a slow roller right up the middle between the second baseman and the shortstop. Lead-off single and the 13th hit of the game for the Astros. DeCenzo is 3 for 4, man. Game 1 against the Blue Jays, he was on fire. He's on fire this game. Man, he's wanting to stay in this lineup, is he not? This is a good problem with all the Astros hitting. Dubon is at the plate. He's got himself a hit today. Here comes the first pitch. He fouls it back. 96 miles an hour. Strike 1. DeCenzo on first base, no outs. 0-1 the count to Dubon. Doobie at the plate. Here's the play. Here's the pitch. Grounded foul. Back towards the the hitter's box. The on-deck circle, rather. He kicked the ball like a soccer player. It came back to him, and he kicked it away. 0-2 is the count. 1 for 3 today is Dubon. He came through with a single in the inning where the Astros came up with 3 runs. Let's see if he can do something similar here. Here's the pitch. He hits that one straight up. That's going to be playable by the second baseman. He's out in the grass. He calls for it and takes it, no problem. Out number 1. Dubon goes down on a fly ball. 1 away. That's interesting. Astros, one of only 4 teams right now in the American League who are positive in the run differential. Pretty interesting. That brings up Jake Myers, Mr. Baseball, his first at bat today. Here comes the pitch. He goes after it, foul tip into the catcher's mitt on that 88-mile-per-hour slider. Strike 1. Jake Myers had got up to over 300 with his batting average. Now he's back down to 269. Let's see if we can turn that around again today. Here's the pitch. Ooh, in the dirt. Swing and a miss on a bad pitch. That slider was filthy. Myers tried to golf at it. Come on, man. Forget about last year. This is 2025 Myers. He calls a timeout. Takes a little typical slow Myers swing. A slow-mo Myers swing. Slow Myers. Josh Hader is warming up for the Astros. He will have the 9th. Here comes the 0-2 pitch to Myers. Right in there, he takes it for strike 3. Myers goes down. So even though he has an opportunity to do something, he fails to come through. 3 straight pitches. Strikeout. And that brings up my hero, Jose Altuve. Altuve looking for another hit today. He had an early hit in the game, but hasn't done anything since then. He's also left 5 runners on base, several opportunities to get some RBIs, just didn't come through. Here's the first pitch from Hoffman. Outside, good take by Altuve, 97-mile-per-hour pitch, a couple of inches outside the zone. One ball, no strikes, 2 outs. DeCenzo's still over on first base. Altuve goes after that one. That's a 97-mile-per-hour pitch just inside the outside edge. And that'll be strike 1. The count is even, 1-1. Altuve. Waggle that bat. Shows some amazing stuff. Here's the pitch. Way high. Another 97-mile-per-hour fastball, but more than 2 feet out of the zone. Way over Altuve's head. That's 3 straight 97-mile-per-hour pitches from Hoffman. He's just trying to buzz it past Altuve. But Altuve is an energetic little guy. He can handle it. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Off-speed pitch, 87-mile-per-hour slider. Bottom fell out of it. Swing and a miss. 2-2. Come on, Altuve, get locked down. His batting average has slipped below 300. He's at 296 right now. He needs a base hit here to bring that back up. Come on, man, you can do it. I've seen you do much more amazing things than this. They throw over to first base. DeCenzo is back. The crowd boos a little bit. Don't boo that. Come on. I want Houston to be the only crowd that does not boo the throw to first base. Two balls, 2 strikes to Altuve. DeCenzo on first with 2 outs. Here's the pitch. Well, that's interesting. Altuve fouled that one off, but DeCenzo was off to the races. He was stealing on that play, and Altuve went after it and fouled it off into the crowd. The count remains 2-2. 13 people watching right now. I think that's the most I've had so far today. It's been a kind of a slow day. Thank you for being here. Make sure you like the live stream if you can. Next pitch is fouled away again by Altuve. Count remains 2-2. Altuve takes his helmet off and walks out of the box to take a breather. Adjusts his batting gloves. Altuve with the stylish one-sleeve orange sleeve on his right arm. The bare left arm. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Here comes a pitch from Hoffman. High. Good take. Full count. Another 96-mile-per-hour pitch, but about 1.5 feet out of the zone. Come on, Altuve. You're the professional here. You're the guy. You're the veteran. You can do it. Here comes the 3-2 pitch. Fouled back again. Altuve once again removes his helmet, looks around, takes a breather, adjusts his gloves. This will be the 9th pitch of this at-bat. Altuve and Hoffman starting to get into a little fist fight here with this at-bat. Hoffman comes set. Here's the delivery. Altuve goes down swinging. The slider almost in the dirt. Altuve goes down again. Only 1 hit in this game. Man, I really hate to see Altuve striking out like that. So many opportunities for him to hit with runners on. A lot of runners left on base for Altuve this game, unfortunately. I would say this is not really much of a stellar game for him. His batting average down to .293. 5 at-bats, 1 hit, 1 strikeout, and he left 6 runners on base. The good thing is that if you look at the Astros lineup, every single starter got a hit. The only people in the lineup right now without a hit are the pinch hitters who've come in the game. Every other Astro has a hit. 13 hits. The problem is that the Astros only have 3 runs. 26 runners left on base. 26 runners left on base. You heard me right for the Astros this game. They should be destroying the Blue Jays right now. The score should be 10-1, not 3-1. The Blue Jays are very lucky that the Astros have not been moving their runners into home plate, or to home plate rather. It looks like Josh Hader will be up on the mound in a save situation. The Astros leading 3-1. I'll go ahead and change that image right now. Where is he at? There he is, Josh Hader. There we are. Josh Hader is up on the rubber now facing Anthony Santander, who doesn't have anything to show for the game today. That first pitch is a little inside. Ball 1. Here comes the pitch. Right in the top of the zone. 93-mile-per-hour strike. A sinker. 1-1. Here comes a 1-1 pitch. Just barely misses, a little high above the zone. 94-mile-per-hour sinker. 2 balls and 1 strike to Santander. Here's the pitch. Strike 2, right in there. 93. Santander just taking the pitches right now. If Hader gives him a well-placed or off-speed pitch, this could be a swing and a miss for a strikeout. Here comes the pitch. And he does get it. Off-speed pitch, a slider. 81 miles an hour, swing and a miss. Just saw that one coming. Santander followed Hader's script to the T. George Springer is now strolling to the plate. Big whiff by Santander. First pitch to Springer on the way. Slider way inside and low. Springer holds up. Ball 1. 1 for 3 today is Mr. Former Astro. Here's a 1-0 pitch. Swing and a miss. 94-mile-per-hour fastball right in there. You could say that was a sinker. I always think those are fastballs, just a sinker. 1-1 is the count. Hader shakes off a call, nods for the next one, and here it comes. Right in there again. 96-mile-per-hour sinker. Swing and a miss. Same result. Springer not getting his bat on it. He's looking a little frustrated right now. Keeps shaking his head. Very dissatisfied with himself right now. Here comes a 1-2 pitch, and that one's grounded to the third base side foul. An 82-mile-per-hour slider. He's able to get his bat on it. One ball, 2 strikes, 1 out, no runners on. Here comes the pitch from Hader. That one's fouled up and out of play. 96-mile-per-hour sinker. Springer stays alive. Man, I'm smelling the strong scent of onions. It's so strong, it's almost making my eyes water. It must be the curry restaurant right downstairs. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Here comes the pitch. Fouled off again. Count remains 1-2. Hader and Springer in a little bit of a battle right now. Hader trying to pick up that third strike. Springer trying to stay alive. Here's the pitch. Outside, 84 mile per hour pitch, low and away. The count is even, 2-2. Top of the 9th. Hader trying to put this game away for the Astros and get their first sweep. Here comes the pitch. Right in there, fouled away again. 96-mile-per-hour pitch right in the middle of the plate. Come on, Hader. The crowd is getting into it right now, wanting that strikeout. Here comes the pitch in the dirt, taken for ball 3, full count. The changeup missing. It's not a pitch you see very often for Josh Hader. Changeup. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Here comes the pitch to Springer. That's hit hard to the left side and just foul by about 4 feet. 96 inside sinker. Count remains 3-2. The battle continues. Here comes the pitch. Outside, ball 4. Springer walks. So the Blue Jays have a base runner with 1 out. The crowd boos. Not very happy about that. I don't know why they're booing. It was not close. Are they booing Hader for walking him? Josh Miller comes in, the hitting, or not the hitting coach, the pitching coach. He's going to have a little chit chat with Diaz and Hader. Andres Jimenez is due up. He's got 1 hit today, but it looks like they're going to have a pinch hitter. And they do. Ernie Clement is coming in. He will be batting for Jimenez. Currently batting .218 for the season. 1 for 2 against Hader in his career. He's only had 2 at-bats against Josh Hader. Here comes the first pitch. And that's hit hard to left field. And that's going to be down for a hit all the way out to the corner. Springer is going to make it to third. The throw comes into second base, and that's a double for Ernie Clement on the very first pitch, an opposite field hit. The Blue Jays have runners on second and third now. Clement went after it right off the bat. Hit it straight all the way out to the wall. Almost to the wall. It was cut off. But that would be a double with runners on second and third. Alejandro Kirk comes to the plate with 1 out. Here's the first pitch to him. He swings and fouls it off at the plate, and that's strike 1. Astros nursing a 2-run lead. Kirk is 0 for 4 today with 2 strikeouts. Let's see what Hader pulls out of his bag of tricks here. The count is 0-1. Here comes the pitch. Swing and a miss, a high fastball, 95 miles an hour. 0-2 is the count. The crowd gets really excited right now. All of his fastballs are called sinkers. I guess it's because it's not a 4-seam fastball, but it's fast to me. 0-2, the 20th pitch of the inning coming up for Hader. Woo, man, down and inside in the dirt. Somehow caught. Man, how in the world did he catch that one? Yainer Diaz with that scoop. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Oh, they're going to check this. They're thinking that ball in the dirt actually hit Kirk on the foot. Toronto is challenging whether or not Kirk was hit on the foot by this ball, but Kirk never made any type of movement or suggestion to show that he was hit. But they're going to take a look at it. I haven't seen the replay yet, but I'm sure they'll show it to me in just a moment. Here it comes. And that angle doesn't show anything. The commentators say, hopefully that's the only angle we have, because if it is, there's no way to determine that that's a hit. There's no evidence there. As it stands right now, it's not looking good for the Blue Jays. Here's another angle. That doesn't show anything. Okay, so we've got 2 angles right now showing the ball bouncing off the dirt close to Kirk's rear foot. But there is no evidence of the ball actually hitting his foot. Can't see that they're going to give him a hit by pitch. Call stands. The count stands as 1 ball and 2 strikes. Not hit by pitch. So runners on second and third with 1 out. Hader has the 1 ball, 2 strike count against Alejandro Kirk. Not surprising that they did not overturn that call. Here's the pitch. Strike 3 in the dirt again, but this time Kirk goes after it, and Hader picks up a strikeout, and out number 2. Man, what a filthy pitch there. What a filthy pitch. Man, that one, the bottom fell out of that one. Yainer Diaz had to stop it with his body. He actually got the glove on it. Good stop. But Kirk tried to go down there and go after it, and he just couldn't come up with it. Golfing, man. That brings up Miles Straw. Check swing goes too far. Hader just, man, that was another dirty pitch. 0-1 against Straw with 2 outs. Here comes the next pitch from Hader. That one's hit high in the air. This could be it. Myers is over. He should take it, and he does. Out number 3, the Astros do it. They get the sweep. Runners on second and third, but Hader gets out of it without giving up anything. Christian Walker walking off the field looking like tapping his heart with his hat, looking really scared there that they were going to lose this game, but they pulled it out 3-1 with 13 hits. 13 freaking hits. The Astros were hitting the ball like crazy, but just weren't hitting the ball when they had runners in scoring position. But they still pull it out. The Astros pitchers come together for a 5-hit, 1-run game against the Blue Jays. No errors for either team, and they win this game 3-1. Thank you guys so much for being here. I'm going to give you a quick recap of the game. Astros sweep this one at home against the Blue Jays. Man, what a game. Not as exciting, definitely not as exciting or impressive as the first 2 games, but the pitching still got it done. And the defense, once again, was stellar. It was locked down. And because of that, the Astros didn't give the Blue Jays anything. With a solo home run, that's all the Blue Jays were able to get. Let's take a quick look at the scoring summary. In the top of the second, the Astros got all of their runs. Started with Walker's homer to left center field. To left field. It says left center, but it was basically in the Crawford boxes. 1-0. DeCenzo singled to right field, scoring Diaz after Diaz had a triple. 2-0 Astros. Still in the second inning, Alvarez hit a sacrifice fly to center field, scoring DeCenzo on tag. 3-0 Astros. And those are all the runs that the Astros would need for this game. Despite having 13 hits, those are all the runs they got. In the top of the fourth, the Blue Jays managed to get a double. I misspoke earlier. The solo shot was by Walker, not the Blue Jays. Springer doubled to left field, scoring Guerrero, and that put the only run for the Blue Jays on the board. And this game wound up 3-1 Astros. The Astros move up again. They were already over 500, and they move another game above 500. It's possible that they will overtake Seattle for second place in the AL West. We will see. Let's take a look at the full schedule because we have another game coming up. Tomorrow the Astros have a break. There will be no game. So I won't see you guys tomorrow. But Saturday, they start the series versus Kansas City. They will be on the road at Kansas City for a 3-game series. And that will be, let's see here, that will be Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And I should be here for all of those games. I should be. And who's on the mound for the Astros on Friday? That will be Wesneski. And then for Game 2, Valdez. And Game 3, Hunter Brown. So there we go. That's it for now. The Astros looking pretty good. Not too bad, huh? Looking not too bad right now. Coming along, sweeping the Blue Jays at home. Absolutely love it. Thank you guys so much. Croker says, winner, winner, chicken dinner. Heck yes. Thank you all so much for being here today. The final like count on my live stream turns out to be a baker's dozen. 13. Thank you so much. And I look forward to seeing you 2 days from now when the Astros start the series against the Royals. There's only one thing left to say, and I think you know what that is, and that is Geaux Stros. See you next time.